I'm very happy. First of all, every one of you, please accept the Guru Purnima wishes. I would say happy Guru Purnima first to everybody. And all my blessings to all of you in your pursuit of this knowledge also. May the Guru Parampara stay with all of us, with all of you and me, and let us all be blessed by this knowledge. That is my best wishes to all of you first, before I start. Now I will start. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Parabrahmanishtam Swato Dharmanishtam Ahimsaikanishtam Swashishai Sujushtam Yatinam Varishtam Gurunam Garishtam Dayanandarupam Madacharya-mide Dayanandarupam Madacharya-mide. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. We know very well Guru. Gukarastvandakaro vairukarastanivartakaha andakara niroditvat gururityapi diyate. Guru, Gu stands for andakara, the darkness of ignorance. Rukaraha is tannivartakaha. Therefore, because the andakara is removed, the ignorance, andakara of ignorance is removed by the Guru is called Guru. This definition of Guru is from the Manasollasa Tika of Sureshwaracharya on the Dakshinamurti Stotra. The word Guru otherwise comes from the root gru to speak. Who is Guru? One who speaks, the one who speaks and teaches this Shabda Pramanam. That one is the Guru. Therefore, in the Dhyana Shloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram also, Sureshwara says what? Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Ishvaraha, Guruhu, Atma. All the three are one. The Atma is not other than Ishvara. Ishvara is Brahma, I am Brahma. We know very well, every day we are seeing. Ishvaraha, Guru, Atma, iti. Only Murti Bhegada Vibhaginaha. The difference is only in the Murtis. To that Guru, Adi Guru, who is Dakshinamurti, to him, my Namaskara. So, in my Guru, I see Dakshinamurti. In Dakshinamurti, I see the Guru. And I am not other than Ishvara, then in that sense, I am not other than my Guru also. But you must not have any Advaitam with the Guru. You have only Advaita with everything. Na Guruna Saha Kadapi. Always keep the Guru as the altar of worship. Because we need the blessings of the Guru. The Guru is needed to take us through the path of this knowledge. So therefore, we can do Advaitam with the whole world. Whole world is me, I am the whole world. But na Guruna Saha Kadapi is also Guru, is always the Guru, always worshipable, equal to Ishvara. In the sense, Ishvara is come in the form of the person of the Guru to teach. That is why Murti Beda Vibhagine. It's only Murti is different. Ishvara himself comes down as the Guru to teach. Otherwise, how will we all gain this knowledge? Pujya Swamiji used to say, even if you do all the meditations and punyam, everything, you have so much punyam and you go to Brahmaloka, gain so much punyam to go to Brahmaloka, never going to come back again. Then he used to say, Brahmaji, what I have to do? You'll go to Brahmaloka, then you're going to stay till the end of the Kalpa, you are going to stay there. Now you have to complete your pursuit of knowledge, you have to complete the pursuit you started here. Then you will go to Brahmaji and ask, you are the Guru, please teach me. Then Swamiji will say, why did you not learn from Swami Dayananda in the earth? Why did you not learn from him? He was there daily teaching this, teaching. Till the last day of his life, he was teaching. Why did you not learn from him? And you're coming and asking me now. And you have to say, I'm so sorry, please teach me now. So he used to say like that. When he himself was present in the body here, he used to say, so better you learn from me. That then otherwise Brahmaji will ask, why did you not learn from Swami Dayananda, like that. So that is the beauty of the Guru and the Guru-Shishya relationship and the Parampara. The Guru is your immediate link to the Parampara. And this Parampara starts with Ishvara himself. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam. Up to my Acharya, starting with Sadashiva himself, Lord Shiva himself, Parameshwara himself. And then so many gurus in between, all the gurus. Shankaracharya in the middle. Then so many gurus after that, then immediately my Guru. It's an unbroken tradition. Teacher to student, that student becomes the teacher, teacher to the student, teacher to the students, teacher to the student. This parampara is so important. In between is Vyasacharya. Even though we say Shankaracharya Madhyamam, before Shankaracharya is Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya is Lord Krishna himself, Lord Narayana himself. Came down as Krishna Dvaipayana and established the entire Veda, collected all the Veda mantras and put them all together, codified them into different Vedas according to the type of mantra, compiled all of them, codified all of them, classified all of them, did the parishkara of all of them, corrected the mistakes in chanting, corrected the mistakes in the swaras, did absolutely an edition of all the manuscripts, means manuscript not written that time, from all the people, all the Vaidika Shrotriyas he collected all under one roof in Kurukshetra, under the management of Bhishma in Kurukshetra. And he did collection first, then correction first. They say that 12 years of collection he did, 12 years of correction he did, and put all the Vedas compiled together in the form of the 4 Vedas, keeping 4 of his disciples to compile each one of the Vedas, and he left it for posterity in the Dwapara Yuga. What a big work. He knows Kali Yuga was coming. Everything is likely to be lost. At least we have to preserve to the extent possible. Then he knows the whole purpose of putting the Veda together was to preserve the Veda. It is necessary to preserve the Veda, to preserve the world. But the jewel of the Veda, the Chudamani of the Veda is the Vedanta Shastra. So he wrote the Sutras, Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, the Sharirika Sutras he wrote, putting the entire Vedanta Shastra in the form of the Sutras, and he made his own student, Jaimini, write the entire Karma Kanda in the form of the Sutras, because the Karma Kanda has also to be preserved. The Karma Kanda is going to keep the people within Dharma, within the Vaidika Dharma, within the right behavior, and then they are going to get matured enough to come to Vedanta. So it is the first step in anybody's life, generally. Everybody has to go through the Brahmacharya Ashrama, the Grihastha Ashrama, and then the Vanaprastha Ashrama and the Sannyasa Ashrama, and then go for study Vedanta. Of anybody who is ready should go anytime. Whenever they are ready, they can go for the study of the Vedanta. So he did the codified the Karma Kanda in the form of the Karma Kanda Sutras, Jaimini Sutras. He himself wrote the Vedanta Sutras or the Brahma Sutras. Then he wrote all the Puranas. In case somebody is not able to study the Upanishads, and he wrote the Mahabharata and kept the Bhagavad Gita in the middle. The jewel of the Mahabharata is Madhye Mahabharata. Like a jewel in the middle, he kept the Mahabharata, which is the Smriti Prasthana for us, for Vedanta. And all the Upanishads are all in the Jnana Kanda in the Upanishads. Then he wrote the entire Brahma Sutra, presenting the entire Vedanta Shastra. That is the way he gave it to us. But after his time, beginning of Kali Yuga, all the obstacles and the distractions to the Vedika Dharma, to the Vedas, to the Vedantas, it was as though all of them would be lost, not available, even though he had done everything and gone. Then Kumarila Bhatta came to revive the Vedas, to revive the Karma Kanda. Then Shankara was born to revive the Vedanta. And he wrote the Bhashyam for all the Upanishads, and he wrote this Bhashyam for the Brahma Sutras, and he left with us everything. And he now did the Shanmata Sthapana of the. Now he knows everybody is not going to be doing the Vedika karma, Agnihotra, the karma, Somayaga, everything, etc. It is all going to die. He came in Kali Yuga. He knew. Then he kept the Karma Kanda in the form of the pujas, in the form of the Shanmata Sthapana, and established the puja paddhati for everybody to follow. Instead of Agnihotra, please follow the puja. Do your daily rituals, everything he codified. And in every temple all over India, he went and established the method of worship. And everything along with writing Bhashyam for all the Upanishads, the entire Brahma Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita, and wrote so many prakaranas and stotras establishing this knowledge. So you can see the parampara has come from first Guru Ishvara, then disciple, Guru, disciple, Guru, disciple, Guru, disciple becomes Guru, then he gets a disciple, that disciple becomes a Guru. This tradition has come to us, unbroken tradition. Till today, it is going strong, and that is the glory of this tradition. That is Ishvara Sankalpa. That is a Sankalpa of all the Acharyas. When they passed it on to the next student and told them, pass it on to the next student, pass it on to the next student. And still we are going strong. And these days, today we all cannot meet, but we meet like this. Then according to the times, the technology also has come. That is Ishvara's grace. Then today we are able to talk through this Zoom, and I am able to tell you the parampara, the greatness of the Guru parampara. I am able to tell you. See how beautiful it is. There is no understanding this knowledge of Vedanta. What is that? Jiva Brahma Aikyam. I, the individual, am the limitless Brahma, which is Jagat Karana. That understanding is not possible through any of our pramanas. Our pramanas are what? The 5 sense organs. Pratyaksha Pramana, the sense of hearing, sense of seeing, sense of touch, the sense of taste, and the sense of smell. The 5 Jnanendriyas. Then the mind behind, the manas and the buddhi behind. And using from the pratyaksha, the pramana, the anumana, the arthapatti, the anupalabdhi, the upamana, and pratyaksha, anumana, arthapatti, upamana, anupalabdhi. These are the 5 pramanas by which we come to know anything. But all the other 4 depend on the pratyaksham, the sensory perception, direct perception. Without an element of direct pratyaksha perception, there cannot be anumanam, arthapatti, upamanam or anupalabdhi. And I, the Atma, is not available for any of these 5 sense organs. The limitless Brahma is also not available for the 5 sense organs. Then how to know? Unfortunately, I, the Atma, is not available for the 5 sense organs. therefore not available for any of the pramanas, but it is available always as yourself. It is a nitya aparoksha vastu, self-evident, self-existent Atma, swaprakasha swatasiddha Atma. So then what happens is, Atma is always there, only about that I have an ignorance. Then the Vedanta Shastra is waiting through the means of the Guru to come and tell you what is your reality. So then Shabda alone can be the Pramanam. That Shabda Pramanam is the Vedanta Shastra, the Upanishads primarily. Aupanishadam, Aupanishadaha Purushaha. Only through Upanishad you come to know the Purusha, that is I, Brahma, Atma, which is Brahma. And that has to be properly taught to you. Some teacher has to make you see what he sees. And that is represented by the parampara of the teachers. This Guru Purnima is also called Vyasa Purnima. Today we worship Vyasacharya on this day, Vyasacharya, for having saved the Vedas, put them together, then established the Karma Kanda by making Jaimini write the sutras, establishing the Vedanta by writing the Brahma Sutras, then writing all the Puranas, everything, and leaving this whole knowledge and creating the whole next parampara of teachers. And in that the middle link is Shankaracharya. That is why Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyama. In between Vyasacharya is very much there. Shankaracharya. And then from Shankaracharya down also, teacher, student, his own students, their students, their students, their students, their students. The last Prashasta link in the parampara for us is Pujya Swamiji. Very exalted link. We all gained from him. If he had not had the kindness to teach all of us, we would not be pursuing this. That is why, because Atma is not available to any other Pramanam, Shabda alone is the Pramanam. And that Shabda Pramanam cannot be studied by yourself just because you are a great Sanskrit scholar, you know all the other related Shastras and everything you know. You cannot study. Why Shankara says what? Shastrajñopi swatantriyena brahmanveshanam na kuryat. And the one who has not come in the asampradaya with murkavat upekshaniyaha. One who is not coming down in this parampara and walking the steps of the parampara, he should not be taken seriously. Like how you will not take an little person who is not very well in his mind, such a person, how you will not take him seriously. Like that you cannot take him seriously. So therefore the parampara is so important, the teaching is so important, the Shabda Pramana is important. That is why you will see everywhere Shankaracharya will bring Shabda Pramanam, Shastra Pramanam, he will bring Guru Mukhena. He will bring the Guru. Not only Guru also cannot say I am Swayambhu. There is no teacher who was not a disciple. If any person says I am not a disciple of anybody, on my own I studied everything, you don't distrust him. Do not distrust him. Do not dismiss him that it is not possible. No. It might have been possible. He might have gained the knowledge in his previous janma. He might have gained that everything must be with him, and in this life he did not go to anybody. It must be possible. Janma janmantare, it is siddham for him. But we have to choose a guru who had a guru, because he would have come in that tradition of teaching. He will know the methodology of teaching, and through that methodology he will make you see what he sees. That is the job of the guru. Take you to a vantage point from where you cannot but see what he sees. That is the greatness of the guru. Until you see it, as many days it may take, as many years it may take, till you see what he sees, he is not going to tell you, I will not teach you. He will tell you what else you can do. what else you can do to improve your mind for Chitta Shuddhi, for Chitta Naischalyam. He will give you disciplines, he will give you means and to get over your obstacles. He's all the time Mata, Pita, Guru. Everything is the Guru. So in every way the Guru will guide you. That is why today is the day dedicated to all our Gurus. And all our Gurus in the whole Parampara and our immediate Guru in the last link in the Parampara. We worship all of them and remember them and worship them and seek their blessings, so that we get the force of that. We get the force of the entire Parampara with us. Even though our minds are small, even though our understanding is limited, we have got a small, pokey little buddhi, but we are hoping by the worship, the force of the Guru, all the Gurus before will come and somehow make me see what I don't see. Also, it will make me see what I am seeing. Really, when we have that Shraddha somehow makes you do some quantum jump someplace, and what you did not see some time back, you are able to see because of the Shraddha. At the same time, you have to follow the methodology of the teaching completely and be with the teaching all the time. Don't move away from the teaching. Do not be carried away by kutarka, by Shruti Virodha Tarka. Keep with the Shruti Sammata Tarka all the time. And keep the Brahmabhyasa going, keeping the Guru as an inspiration. Keep the Brahmabhyasa of Shravana Manana Nididhyasana going. So this is a day for us to renew our resolves, to sharpen our resolves, to become very committed to the Purushartha, to become very committed to the pursuit of in the form of Brahmabhyasa, and all the time having the confidence, the Guru Parampara, the strength of the Parampara is with me. That is the way we renew our strength, renew our Purushartha, renew our commitment to the Purushartha. And all the time, all the Gurus will surely bless us. There's no question about that. All of them will bless us. There is no question. With this, seeking the blessings of all the Gurus, let us once more chant Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Tat Sat.